We have a Aries full moon this Friday coming up, September 29th. No matter what your zodiac sign is, this is what the Aries full moon is emphasizing. You have a particular area in your life where you overexert yourself. You do too much. You're exhausted. You're burnt out. Whether that be in love, and that's career, and that's mental health, and that's physical health. It can be family issues. It can be somewhere where you are a fighter. You are in fight or flight mode. You are in survival mode, and you are constantly overworking yourself, overdoing it. And if you have a lot of Aries placement, you have a lot of Aries energy in your chart, this full moon is going to be reflective of where you need to slow it down, where you need to release the need to always be moving, always be doing, always feeling like you have to be searching, or fighting with people or things or with yourself even. And what is really worth fighting for? Full moons are always a time of realizations and conclusions and culminations of things where you're just going to have this big aha moment that, maybe I am fighting too hard for this thing, this person, or with myself. Like, what is it that I truly find valuable? Like, you don't have to always be fighting. And so there needs to be a bit of a balance. Keep in mind, Aries and Libra are opposite signs, right? So Libra about being a sign of balance. Aries is a sign about, okay, this is my way. I'm doing this. This is the, jumping into it, making decisions. Libra weighing all options. So it's like releasing that need to always be in deciding mode and always be jumping into things and initiating things. And why are you trying to do that? So this week can be particularly heavy for experiencing feelings of higher stress, confrontation, anger, irritation, headaches, tension. And so you really want to just focus on self-care. You really want to dial it back. You want to try to remain calm, cool, collected, chill out a bit. Wherever in your life you have been pushing too hard for answers, you've been striving for something, you've been just on overdrive, you've been reaching, you've been doing, you've been asserting yourself. Look at how that's making you feel. Is that making you feel more anxious, more tired, more stressed, more burnt out, more exhausted, more frustrated, more angry? Whatever it is, if it's making you feel more negativity than positivity, or if it's not really getting you anywhere, then that means you need to stop. You need to let it go. You need to release and have faith and have trust that what is really meant for you to fight for, or what is really meant for you to move in that direction, is going to come to you when you stop pushing for whatever it is, when you stop fighting for whatever it is to make that thing work for you. There is a sense of pride that also follows with this, where it's like, if I can just get that thing, enjoying the chase. Aries is a sign that likes to chase things. If I can just achieve that, if I can just get that, if I can just have this, then I will feel better about myself, or I'll feel good. I'll feel like I've done something. I feel like I've accomplished something. Why? Why does it rely on something external or even internal for you to feel worthy when you actually get something, you obtain it? At what expense, at what costs are you trying to do this? So look at your houses. Pull up a house chart on Google, look up 12 sign or the 12 houses, and it'll explain what each house represents. And look at your chart and see what house you have Aries in personally. You need to have your correct rising sign, and it needs to be a whole signs chart so you can accurately see where the transit is happening for you. But Aries in the first house, you may be overdoing it or overstimulated with your physical body. Pay attention to how your physical body feels. If you have any headaches, any stress, any tension, you need to calm down and relax yourself and just pay attention to the physical sensations you feel, and where you've been putting yourself physically and what you've been putting your body through. Okay, rest, relax, recovery, and pay attention to where you're trying to strive too much to overdo it with your mindset or making some type of mindset change. If you have Aries in the second house, look at where you may be overdoing it or striving too much in regards to money or physical possessions, maybe to validate your self-worth and why you need to obtain certain physical assets to feel worthy, and over striving, overcompensating financially. If you have Aries in the third house, where you may be overexerting yourself to connect with people mentally, or talking to people, trying to be heard, trying to be understood, just trying to network, and it's not quite working in your favor, and where you might need to just, let other people come to you and talk to you, and like stop trying to talk to the people that don't want to hear you, don't want to understand you. If you have Aries in the fourth house, maybe where you're overcompensating with family matters, or, your childhood trauma, or, you're trying to really figure out how to emotionally deal with certain things, and you're like just getting frustrated emotionally, where you need to dial it back. You don't need to always be figuring out your feelings, or, trying to do something about them. Just let it flow, or let the family stuff, set boundaries with the family matter stuff. Aries in the fifth house, where you may be overdoing or over exerting yourself, trying to figure out with your hobbies or your creative energy, or you're just so indulged in maybe dating or pleasures, and where you need to take some things more seriously, or maybe they're just doing, trying to figure out what it is that you need to be doing creatively or doing with your free time or fun activities, and you're just like could be a little frustrated or exhausted trying to make certain things into things that are more serious. Maybe they need to be more lighthearted. So look at where you're exerting your lighthearted energy and maybe not being lighthearted enough. Aries in the sixth house, or Scorpio rising like me, where you are overexerting yourself with your schedule, your routines, your day-to-day life. It's just jam-packed. You're always doing something. You're never stopping. You're always busy, and where you could be also struggling with health, or you're burnt out, and doing too much can cause health issues, because sixth house is correlated to health. So be careful about overdoing it in your everyday life. And if you're having any health issues, you need to take those a lot more seriously and stop getting so stressed out about the minor details and being overcritical in your day-to-day life. Aries in your seventh house, be careful of overexerting yourself with your relationships and your partnerships and your one-to-one connections. Maybe you're striving too hard, pushing too hard for other people to understand you, to connect with you, to be with you, to work with you. And so if there's any imbalance in your partnerships, or they're exhausting to you, step away, step back from those exhausting relationships. If you have Aries in the eighth house, be careful about overexerting yourself with trying to merge with other people, trying to connect with other people, or maybe going through certain transformations. You need to be more compassionate with yourself, be more patient with yourself, because you're going through some type of deep inner transformation, or maybe there's a bit of a blockage with intimacy or sexual energy that you need to release, and stop trying to force it, or stop trying to force other people to connect with you on a deeper level, and just let it flow, or let yourself go through whatever it is that you're trying to release or let go of that may feel very heavy, a heavy burden. Aries in the ninth house, this can be not overexerting yourself with trying to figure out where you're meant to be long term, like your long term vision. Maybe you have long-term goals, or very high expectations for yourself, and you're trying to force yourself to expand, or you're like, I need to be way up here, I need to be way over here, and it's not working. You need to stop pushing so hard and let the expansion come, or allow your other people to have their own opinions and you to have yours, because there could be an issue with you also trying to get other people to understand your mindset and what you are teaching. Ninth house is a teacher, or like your beliefs, and other people don't have those same beliefs, and it may exhaust you. So stop trying to prove your beliefs to other people and just live your own life. If you have Aries in the 10th house, be careful of overexerting yourself with your long-term career, specifically your career, your public reputation, trying to strive and figure out where exactly you're meant to be, what you're meant to do, pushing so hard in a direction, trying to initiate things in your career, and just let it come to you. Be open to any career changes. See where you're trying to make one specific thing work for you in your career. You need to be more open-minded and explore other options. Aries in 11th house, be careful of overdoing it on social media and like pushing to connect in different friend groups or different groups, period. Maybe you're meant to pull back if you're not feeling very connected from social media, or you're overexerting yourself trying to connect with a lot of different people at once. Take a social media break, probably. Aries 12th house, it's all about your mental health. Be careful of stress, anxiety. Take your time, disconnect, detach, meditate. Look at where you're adding too much mental pressure on yourself.